about the benefits of leasing versus purchasing a car. Kerri and I both have experience in the car business, and we just want to go ahead and share all the knowledge that we've learned during that time and just pass it on to you.
We learned a lot of the information not just from being in the car business and car sales, but from helping customers that maybe are stuck in certain situations. We've seen where they've ended up, so we kind of want to help you folks know what is right for you before you get into it.
So what is leasing? When you lease, you're only paying for the depreciation of the vehicle, and your monthly payments tend to be lower than if you were to purchase.
When you purchase a car, you're typically financing the vehicle. If you're not paying cash, you're financing the vehicle for about 5 to 6 years with the biggest end goal in mind of owning the car at the end.
Please keep in mind that when you lease, there is a credit qualification to lease. So I would definitely recommend this for somebody who has established credit or somebody that has a co-signer. It wouldn't be necessarily a great thing for a first-time buyer that doesn't have any credit history. I would recommend that leases are good for people who are just starting off, so like college kids or young couples, so they don't really know where they're going to be in the next 3 years. Maybe right now you're at the point where you're going to college, but in 3 years maybe you're having your first kid and you need something bigger. You can just go ahead at that time and trade it in for something bigger.
What I found with our experience is that it's best for college students to have a parent co-signing for them for their first car, because leasing is so good to have for you to establish credit, because it's a short-term thing. You pay a leased car at low monthly payments for 3 years. At the end of the 3 years, your parent no longer has to be on that loan, and now you're able to go ahead and lease, purchase the car, whatever that be. If you've made your payments on time, your credit has now been established. But leasing a car would also be good for elderly if they're not driving a lot, because when you are leasing, you do have to remember there's mileage restrictions.
Those mileage restrictions, usually the companies will charge you 15 to 20 cents per mile that you go over. Leases are generally anywhere from 12,000 miles a year or 15,000 miles a year. So if you wanted to go to 15,000 miles a year, your monthly payment would be a little bit higher versus if you were to just do the 12.
Good cars to lease is dependent on what you're looking for in a lease. If you're looking for mainly low monthly payments, leasing is great for cars like Honda, Toyota, cars that don't depreciate a lot. Because remember, when you're leasing a car, you're paying for the amount of depreciation that happens from the time you start the lease to the time you end the lease. If you are looking at getting a car that doesn't hold its value very well, for example, a Kia or a Hyundai, not that they're not great cars, they just depreciate faster, then it would be better to lease it than to purchase it. Because at the end, when you purchase it and you try to sell it back, you're going to be way upside down. If you lease it, then the residual value is a lot less.
And the term upside down means that you're going to owe a lot more on your car than what your car is actually worth. One of the really nice things that I like about leasing is that you do get free gap insurance. Gap insurance is going to go ahead and cover you in the case that, let's say your car gets completely totaled and you owe $20,000 on that car, but the insurance company is only willing to pay $15,000. You're actually responsible for that $5,000 difference. So if you don't have $5,000 out of pocket, gap insurance will cover all of that for you.
Another benefit of leasing is that you're paying a smaller amount of taxes, because you're only paying taxes on the amount of the car that you're paying, so you're just paying a little bit of taxes monthly, rather than when you purchase, you pay the whole amount of taxes.
So at the end of the lease, you have a couple of different options. If you decide, I love this car, I want to keep it, you just go ahead and you can go back into the dealership and continue your payment. Or you could say, you know what, I'm gonna move across the country, and so I don't need this car anymore. You can just go ahead and give it right back to that dealership and just walk away from the whole situation. Or you could say, you know what, I need to trade it in, I want to get something bigger. You could go ahead and trade it in and get something else. And then the other option that I've seen some people do is they'll go ahead and they'll sell the car outright. So if they have a car like a Honda that has a high residual value, they'll go ahead and they'll sell it outright and then pay the bank, and sometimes they'll be able to pocket some money as well. So you are able to privately sell the car. Purchasing is a great option for people who are interested in owning the car long term.
Maybe you know you want to keep your car for longer than at least 5 years, or if you think maybe you're a parent and you want to pass your car on to your kids. You want to keep that car for a long amount of time. It's a good idea to go ahead and purchase, but remember when you're purchasing, you do pay the taxes full up front.
So your monthly payments do tend to be a little bit higher than if you were to lease. I would also recommend that somebody who drives a lot, that they just go ahead and purchase the car so that they don't have to worry about over mileage fees.
We did talk about free gap with leasing and how it protects you. It also is very important to get gap if you're purchasing in certain situations.
If you do put a large down payment down on the car, maybe you don't have to, or if you're paying cash, then you wouldn't have to get gap insurance, but gap insurance is definitely an extra security that you can have, and it's only like $7 on your monthly payment.
And remember, the big thing with purchasing it is at the end, you own it. There's no other really option. You don't have to give it back to the company. You don't have to worry about how many miles, how many wear and tear damages you put on it. It all really just depends what fits you for the moment and for the future. You have to look at, can I afford to purchase? Is my credit good or established enough to lease? Where am I going to be in 3 to 5 years? I'll put my strap down.
Can you see? It's so hard to see, like if you can see our flyaway hairs.
Face?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm sorry, but it's kind of funny.